up after this match. Optimus Tom and Stu, you're going to be casting that one. But for now, though, we got game number 2, and like we were saying before, I'm thinking a Cassiopeia ban may be worthwhile here from Legion.
Yep.
But Twisted Fate, though, and Urgot going to stick the course so far. But Vlad actually being banned out from Dynamic.
Yeah, Vladimir, yeah, he's a really strong champion. I think a lot of it comes down to it's an AoE team comp. Legion always runs AoE team comps, and Vlad works with, running a sub. It's just Vlad's an easy champion that anyone can sub in. You play Vlad, you just farm, and then you expect to win later in the game. So, get rid of the champions like those. Morgana is available, so we'll see if Morgana's banned out. There's a couple of champions that could be banned out actually, and we'll see if they end up banning out Cassiopeia.
But actually, Dynamic will actually go ahead and take the initiative. Do you take the initiative and ban out Cassiopeia because they know Legion's probably gonna do it? But look who's escaped the bans. Olaf has managed to get out scot-free, I believe. Karthus has actually escaped bans as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Karthus and Olaf were both available, and Dynamic doing as they do. They gotta let Nintendo have his guy. You gotta let him have his bro. He's best when he's on his Olaf, looking for those aggressive jungle invades, looking to just, that devil may care attitude. I love seeing it. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And sometimes that can very well be, the meaning of your... That could very well be the avenue to your doom, letting a team have their token mascot champion.
Yeah, no, we'll have to see. I'm always waiting for. I think people are waiting for Nintendo to write that Olaf guide, and he was. I remember him joking in chat like the other day or something. He was like, "Yeah, I'll write the guide, but I'll leave it really generic and everything, like most guides. So it'll be like, you start off and you level your abilities and you get, the jungle camps and stuff like that. And he's like, I've got all these secrets that I don't want people knowing about how I jungle. So,
well, good. Yeah, you shouldn't be releasing that because that could actually translate into lost dollars and frustration for your team. You don't want to give away all your secrets. You just really don't want to be doing that. But there are a lot of players out there. They do help out. They do actually write some pretty decent guides. I'm pretty sure it's not everything is being told when you see a lot of teams actually write, but it is a huge help to the community if you can. But understandably so, I can understand why he doesn't want to write a guide for Olaf right now.
I mean, usually the guides how to play a champion isn't like a big mystery. It's not like there's certain players that play a champion in a special way. I mean, in some situations you do see that, but usually people catch on pretty quickly, so it's not that big of a deal. Dynamic actually maybe picking up Kale. That would be kind of interesting. So there is the potential right now that Olaf could be going top lane. There's a lot of flexibility in their team right now. They're actually going to be going with the MF Nunu once again. So
yeah, it worked out pretty well.
Really, yeah, it's a devastating lane combo.
Misfortune Nunu is just...
Nope.
Oh!
Blitzcrank.
Hook City. I love to see Hook City. But Blitzcrank could be especially devastating with Misfortune also. Because, you get the hook, you get the knockup, and then the best part about it is that afterwards, you also get the MF slow.
And it's also against Soraka, and Blitzcrank crushes Soraka. If they get the hook, then that's it. Like, it's over. Soraka will die if they hook Soraka. So... that's something that they're going to have to watch out for. Nocturne and Karthus. Oh, wow.
He is open.
They have the triple global comp right now. It's going to be really nice to just turn any fight in your favor that way. They can really pick up some early advantages unless they swap.
Still thinking about it, but Kassadin, he could be picked too early, can be countered out very well in the mid. So I don't know. May actually end up with egg on their face if they go up with him.
Well, it's hard. There's not many mid champions that counter Kassadin unless you're going to play an unusual mid or swap your mid in top lane. And that's not something that usually happens. It's, it takes more of a concerted effort. Usually you're just going to pick someone like Anivia and just, ranged farm against Kassadin and harass him when you can, but then expect in team fights, as long as you can shut him down, you can get some quick burst damage. LeBlanc, not really the best choice against Kassadin.
Well, the LeBlanc does have the silence. And
yeah, she has the silence.
And one of the things that really shuts down Kassadin is silence.
He's not going to be playing LeBlanc, though. Go ahead and move off. I mean, the issue is just with LeBlanc, you're not going to have enough damage to kill Kassadin. You you need to be able to snowball the game early and pick up some quick kills. I mean, you can run Kassadin without snowballing. You can run Kassadin as poke is actually kind of the most interesting way I've seen Kassadin run, where you dash in real quick, you throw off a little bit of poke, back off. So we'll see what the pick actually is. Going with the Evelyn right now as a placeholder.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just a placeholder, so
yeah.
we'll see what they end up going with, and whether or not Kennen is going mid or not. That's going to be the interesting thing. Is Kennen can do very well against Kassadin mid, particularly if you start off with the AD. You can kind of harass down Kassadin some. So we'll see whether or not that's the case.
So gonna also find out the last pick for Legion, and yeah, they have options. They still need to pick their top lane, and let's see, Nintendo, who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Shen. Shen.
Yeah, so
Shen.
it's going to be probably Shen in the jungle then. So we'll have to see. I mean, Shen could go top lane,
Okay.
but the issue with top lane Shen is it depends on who you're going to go against. And against Jax, actually Shen will probably be in the top lane. So it'll be Nintendo will be able to play Olaf, but there is the potential for Shen to be in the jungle. And the reason you would want Shen in the jungle as opposed to top lane is it gives you that map control back when they already have Nocturne and Soraka. So whenever Nocturne goes in for a fight, you can ult in as Shen and win the fight for them. You can't really do that as successfully from the top lane. You can do it to a small extent, but not quite the same extent. And Jax coming back. It's been a while since we've seen Jax, and he hasn't really fallen off that much. He's fallen off in favor, but he was nerfed a little bit, but not really that much. It's just that people have kind of shied away from playing him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just preference and just sometimes the way the meta swings. Because there's for a long time it's like, oh, you got to play Jax top lane, and then after it's like, oh, you got to play Kayle top lane, and now it's kind of like, oh, you got to play Malphite top lane a little bit. So it's just the way it's like the turning of the seasons, really.
Yep.
But there you go. So to recap, these are not going to be the real bans. We just need to zoom through tournament draft, because tournament draft mode on live, you do now have the pause, so don't be leaving the game. But to recap the bans, Legion banned out Urgot, Alistar, Rise, Dynamic banned out Twisted Fate, Vladimir, and Cassiopeia. They took the initiative, banned her on their own. So hopefully we'll be back into this game in just a moment. Just need to wait for Kenneth to actually get back in here. He's doing runes. Okay. There we go. That explains it.
Well, regardless, we'll be able to check it out. So it should be kind of interesting to see how they set up the lanes and, what they're going to do with things. Jax can beat either Olaf or Shen in lane. They both have the potential to beat Jax. It's a skill matchup, but Jax very easily can beat them in lane, and as the lane progresses more and more, he's just going to be abusive. So we'll see, what kind of happens with that lane and whether or not he's able to, take control of that lane. Jax farmed late game is a monster, and you're going to have to deal with both Jax and Kassadin. So it's going to be a lot of burst potential against, whoever your target is. That's going to be a really nice thing, but we'll have to see. It's kind of an unusual comp. It's lots of single target damage, but I don't know, not a whole lot of AoE. So we'll see how they work it.
Right. So and then
it's a big departure for from what Legion normally does.
Ugh. Your
I got
frustration coming in. So rune page bugged. We'll never start. Oh, we'll figure this out, guys. Don't worry. There's no need to fret. We'll somehow get there. So Kassadin versus Kennen, and Kassadin, he is melee range for the auto attack.
Yeah,
and that does give a lot of avenues for Kennen to actually just get in there with a lot of damage. And it's not also too uncommon to see a lot of Kennens build like a semi-hybrid. You get like a lot of Dorns, blades to start to stack on with the damage, and then you start getting into your big AP items, like you start like Zonia's, Revolver, and all that junk. So I can see Kassadin may actually have a really rough time before he hits 6.
Yeah, I would actually expect Kennen to start off with the AD build in order to get that harass. And Kennen's range was nerfed a little bit, so it kind of hurts his harass a little bit, but it's not really that big of a deal. He was 575, now he's 550. Against Kassadin, it won't matter. Against other lane matchups, it will, but he's still going to be very successful with harass.
This is the third one. This is the run.
We'll see if this goes with it, but he can get some successful harass against Kassadin. Kassadin early on doesn't really have enough mana to slowly wear down Kennen at all with the mana and whatnot.
Yep.
So we'll have to see how it works.
So Zion Spartan gonna be grabbing the Shen, so it looks like he will be the one indeed going top lane with the Shen off into jungle. It is Nintendo's specialty to go with the Viking all over the effing place. And we saw last game, Zig on MF did work, did a lot of work. And Blitzcrank, if you get the pull, like you mentioned before, you get the pull on Soraka, that's pretty much a dead Soraka.
Yeah. The issue for them is going to be, or for Legion, is going to be having enough damage to burst people down. They have a lot of single target damage, so if they can pick people off outside of fights, that's going to be huge. That's going to be their strength, is outside of fights. They have all of the mobility with Ezreal and Kassadin and Nocturne, and a lot of single target damage. But once it comes into those head-on-head team fights, all of a sudden Dynamic has a huge advantage. Misfortune has a little bit more damage than Ezreal does. Kedin, because Kassadin is kind of short range, other than the melee range. I mean, he's obviously melee, but I'm saying his abilities are short range. He's going to be walking right into Blitzcrank and right into Kennen. So if either of them gets a disable on him, they can burst down Kassadin, pick up a quick kill there, pick up a quick fight. So that's going to be a serious issue for them. But I don't know, we'll have to see how it'll work. The lanes are pretty strong for Legion. They have generally stronger lanes than Dynamic. Mid lane is kind of a wash. And then they also have a really strong jungler in Nocturne. So we'll see how it'll work. But I think one of the lanes to watch is going to be bot lane. So,
oh yeah,
Blitzcrank and Misfortune, that's so much damage. But then Soraka and Ezreal it has a lot of harass. As long as Soraka stays back, stays behind Ezreal, Ezreal's going to be perfectly safe. And with his Q spam, he's going to have so much harass that they're going to have to deal with.
Yep. Yeah, bot lane is definitely going to be interesting. I'm also going to be looking at mid lane, taking a lot of notes. And I do, whenever I get a chance, I do play Kassadin a lot. I'm just now starting to play Kennen. He was never really one of my favorites. But we'll be watching, taking notes, and so Zion Spartan top lane against Cruiser with the Jax. I mean, Zion Spartan, he's got a lot of health. He's going to be naturally building tanky. So I think it's not going to be too long. But, with a lot of assistance though from Nocturne, Jax could spiral pretty quick out of control top lane. Once he starts snowballing, I mean, it's Jax. He just starts going out of control.
Yeah, no, that's a serious issue because they do have a team that can snowball very quickly. Both Jax and Cass are snowball champions. So I don't know. We'll have to watch out for it. Nintendo going with the Ghost, so he has a lot of mobility. Sometimes you can go with Exhaust as Olaf, but we'll see how he builds. It's going to be he's going to be pretty aggressive. Let me check out Kennen real quick.
Yeah, let's say you always have to check the rune page on Kennen. Did he stack the magic resist? No, but there is the physical damage. There is the AP.
Yeah, so a nice little mix. He has physical damage, AP, health, magic resist. So having the health along with the magic resist will be pretty nice to counter out some of that burst from Kassadin. As long as he can survive through the burst, he's going to be fine. But then he also has great harass in lanes, so that's going to be a serious issue. I'm kind of wondering, Kassadins tend to change up their builds a lot, but I'm guessing he's going to run a lot of armor, just the normal amount. So kind of a standard mid-page. Sometimes you'll see Kassadins run a little bit more armor if they need to deal with that auto attack harass.
Yep. So I'm also thinking about Nintendo's optimal places to gank, and I think mid would definitely be a great candidate before Kassadin hits 6. Just can go ahead and get whatever kills necessary, because a Kassadin who just ends up being a little bit out of position, not at 6 without the Rift Walk, it can be ugly.
It's going to be tough to get a kill mid. It's too short of a lane for Olaf. Olaf needs a longer lane, so a lot of times you see Olaf tend to focus on the top lane. He could also go bottom lane, since bot lane they have a kill lane. They could go for those aggressive ganks. It's just that Olaf's kind of weird as far as his initiation. If you hit the axe, then you're golden. You're going to be able to pick up a kill, but you need a long lane to be able to chase people down. We'll see how it works. Early game, the true damage from Olaf works very well against Jax. You can just shut him out of fights. Same thing with Kassadin. Jax has a lot of built-in armor from his ultimate, but Olaf has enough damage to kind of just take him down.
And also, comparable damage reduction on his own ultimate as well, in the event that Jax and Olaf just happen to get into a nice little 1v1 duel. So, hey, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And then you're just going to be loading on up here into the game shortly. There you go. And of course he's going to be using Pulse Fire Ezreal. What am I thinking? I'd be silly to think that he wouldn't be using Pulse Fire Ezreal.
Oh, they're all using Pulse
They're
Fire
all using
Ezreal.
Pulse Fire Ezreal except for
Except for
Kenka, who just doesn't happen to have it. So there we go. Be there in just a second. Now, I'm also. I think I recall Legion not too long ago doing something similar with Kassadin, and not having too much success with it. But hopefully, this will be different than the last time.
Yeah, a lot of it is going to come down to how successfully Kassadin can farm, and if he can pick up any early kills. Like, any early kills can just be devastating as Kassadin. I mean, if you're against for your opponent, it'll be almost impossible for you to pick up anything.
Lots of things.
They do have because of the aggression on their team. One of the nice things you can do against Kassadin is just make sure to deny that blue from him. And because bot lane is so aggressive, and then Kennen is so strong at winning team fights, they could, at that 7-minute mark, come and steal the blue from Legion, not allow Kassadin to get it. We'll see. They're kind of sitting up, though, and both teams are looking for this invade.
You can see the little dip that Kenkith is actually hiding in. There's pretty much everyone. If you walk in through that top road, you will not be seeing Legion until you actually start to go a little bit further on in. So it gives them a little bit of advantage. There's a little bit of a vision decrease in that road specifically. And now there's a very dangerous game going on here. A ward could actually go over the forest, and you can actually see like Ezreal or Jax actually just make their way just right over, hop the wall, and try and start a fight if just like 1 or 2 people from Dynamic do actually get spotted. But they're going to back out just for a second. And I don't think it'd also be out of the realm of possibility for Pixel, as soon as the blue spawns, to just grab it.
Well, that's what I think they're going to do, is because they can't find them, they can't start a fight. They might as well just pull the blue over the wall.
Start a fight with the minion. I was like, I can't find you guys. I want to fight. I'm rowdy. I want to start a fight. Blue buff, get over here. So.
Yeah, Zion Spartan heading up, but the rest of them are still sitting here. Nintendo's actually going to start and clear out the wolves here, so he's going to have a nice little advantage. Ezreal could throw his Mystic Shot over the wall to try and get vision, see what he ends up hitting, and we'll see if they're going to come back here. He's going to walk right into this ward.
Around. I think he may get spotted. He has been spotted. There is a ward in the bush, but Legion, they're backing off.
Well, they want to wait until they see how many people are there. So waiting a little bit for that golem to come up. He could just walk up and steal it, and he is actually going to get it. Yes, he stole it, so Loudamortis gets it. Nintendo has to throw off his ghost as well, so Loudamortis has a nice little early advantage in this game.
Yeah. So, it's Loudamortis actually doing all right for himself. Nintendo now has to start the long way around. I think he's actually just going to go straight on in for the red. He's going to go ahead and skip the raid. He did get the wolves earlier. So he should still dink to it. Loudmore is actually getting really aggressive. Is he actually going to find Nintendo here at the red? I think he will, but Nintendo's going to be a little bit weak. He's going to be at a pretty huge disadvantage. There we go. Buying the fear. Second, Nintendo's going to get caught out here. He doesn't have the ghost anymore. And there you go. There's a fear from Loudmore to go ahead and close the gap. But no, will not be able to connect on the kill.
Yeah, just not quite enough damage. If he was there a second sooner, or if he'd even thrown his Q to try and pull the red, he would have maybe been able to steal it. And that would have just been devastating for Nintendo. But Olaf, that's one of the benefits of Olaf, is that with the axe, you're a great duelist in the jungle. You can beat most people in the 1v1 situation with the axe in your passive, but then you can also get out of there if you need to. You just throw the axe on them, you get out. In the meantime, Loudamortis setting up to come right in on Kennen, and there's the slow from Connect. The follow-up, he's going to be able to... No, just barely not able to get that fear.
Gets the Q, does not get the fear. The rush, the speed boost from Kennen was a little bit too much to deal with. And Demon Wall taking huge chunks of damage from Zig and MF. That hurts. That hurts. And there's granted Soraka can still regen, with the heal. He got the health potions, can cancel a lot of that harass, but it's still a huge waste of resources to try and heal back all the damage that MF is pumping out.
Yeah, and Zion Spartan so far doing a pretty nice job harassing down Cruiser a little bit in this top lane. And early on, Shen has the lane advantage. He just has such significant harass, while Jax has really long cooldowns early on, so that's a struggle for him. So he can win the battle early on, and then I've seen it with like Wicked, where if you get off to a good start as Shen, you can continue to pressure Jax throughout the laning phase and continue to bully him around, and then just become unstoppable.
Mortis getting very low, actually, the small golems. Nintendo Dex, he's looking to, he's doing some traveling. Both the junglers have double buff.
Oh, wow.
Looking to estimate where Demon Wall was going to end up, was almost quite there, and that would have been amazing for Pixel if he actually got that grab. But that's the thing, though, and that's a cue of a good Blitzcrank too. He's very predictive in how he's putting out his grabs. Wants to see if he can't get Demon Lull post shift, because most good Ezreals, you'll just go ahead and just on snap, on response, when you hear the grab coming, you'll just go ahead and immediately shift. And Pixel wants to go ahead and try and cancel that out.
Yeah, so really nice job from him, and he's being extremely aggressive. Ezreal should generally be pretty safe in this lane, but he does have to watch out for, you know, the quick burst potential that they have. Soraka counters it some, but with the healing reduction from Misfortune, they have plenty of damage, so it's going to be really difficult for them in this lane. Though Ezreal, if he can get some nice harass onto Misfortune, he can win those exchanges with the Soraka heals.
But right now, Olaf and Nocturne going to be meeting on in the jungle. Loudmores wants to get the fear onto Nintendo, but the chain will be broken. But here comes Kenka. He's really low, though. I'm not sure if he should actually be dipping on this. Nintendo is not going to be able to connect. Right now, Loudmores is a little bit too far away, but Cruiser farming on under tower. Zion Spartan is actually pushing. Now Kenketh actually getting really low. 2 cannon in mid. First blood, Paradoxical. Wow, just barely getting out of that one. Let's look at that again.
Once the game kind of figures out what it's doing here, but Paradoxical just getting nice harassing. Connect just kind of standing there and taking it. And
yeah.
so he kind of just died, but
weird.
We'll see. Right now, they're actually positioning themselves,
Nintendo,
though. Wow.
Loudmore is going to beat once again in the jungle. The fear chains this time will not be broken. Nintendo, he is feared. Jack's going to come up with a quick kill. The blue buff going to be gained on that one. Unfortunately, not the double, but still blue buff. That's still pretty good on top lane.
Not just that, it was interesting. Dynamic running up to try and see if they could catch someone at the wolves. No one was there, so they want to see if they can get the hook over the wall.
If they got a grab there, that would be amazing.
Yeah. So they will back off, but that kill definitely helps Cruiser out a lot. Jax can snowball very quickly in lane, and having the cooldown reduction and the spam ability allows him to exchange damage a little bit with Shen, which is something that he was sorely lacking up until this point. So we'll see, you know, how that affects the lane at all. But blue is going to be spawning for purple in like a minute, so we'll see whether or not Dynamic decides to try and invade. I think they probably will, and try and just keep it off of the Kassadin.
Yeah, well, they do have the timer. Kassadin is someone you really don't want to have blue buff that allows him to farm a little bit easier to distance. And the cooldowns on abilities, like once he hits 6, then once he has a Rift Walk, is going to make him a lot more effective in lane and a lot easier to escape ganks and kills. So, but he is a little bit behind right now in comparison to Paradoxical. Paradoxical did hit 6. The farm-wise is pretty even, but you see, Kenketh actually buying the GP10, getting the Philo Stone. So he's looking to stay in lane. He's looking to farm up, and hopefully Kennen is catching up on that and probably try and get some quick kills. Pixel trying to get something. He activates the speed boost, but no grabs going to be coming out. But there you go. Ward from Nintendo. Once again, meeting in the jungle. Fear Tether will not be broken here. Nintendo caught out once again. I don't think he's going to be escaping here, though. Kassadin is 6, but here comes Shen to look out, help on out with the Nocturne kill. Nice taunt coming. Will Nintendo get out alive? No, he will not. But there's the Kennen ult, and everyone flashes away on reaction. So Paradox was going to be in a lot of trouble here. And Jax Cruiser coming all the way down from top lane for that kill. Now Zion Spartan is a bit of situation here. And Blitzcrank Pixel, he's here to help, but can only do so much. You don't want to be bringing your enemy closer to you when he has someone so
a little
low.
bit over aggressive from Nintendo, particularly considering that Cass had hit level 6.
Yeah.
So against a Kassadin, it's kind of tough to throw off hard invasion just by yourself, because you're going to put yourself in a bad situation, and Kassadin's going to rift walk over to you. So now, you know, not only has Kassadin been able to pick up some assists, but also grabbing the blue, actually only 1 assist. But even so, you know, he's going to be pretty strong, and he's actually going for a gold for 10 build, which is something that we've seen recently from Kassadin's. I mean, it's just so strong on all champions. If you're looking to farm, you get some gold for 10 items. But we'll see how that'll work out. And actually, Pixel, there it is.
There's the hit on the Demon Wall. A lot of damage. Zig, can you capitalize? No, unfortunately not. But that's still a lot of hurt, forcing the heal from Soraka.
Yeah, and so any advantage that Paradoxical had in this lane is completely negated now, because Connect has that blue. You know, he did get some experience and whatnot from Nintendo, so that's going to be huge for Legion in trying to come back here. And you know, if they can snowball early, then the game could run away from Dynamic pretty quickly.
Science Spartan continuing to push down top lane, and you know, Cruiser's not doing too bad himself. Now Mortis is actually getting once again low to his own jungle creeps. But you know, top lane 47-55. Jax is looking to gauge out a little bit, but the thing is though, He's also Cruiser also has 2 kills to his name. That is a huge advantage when it comes to things like gold and experience. Popping the ult, trying to get some damage down onto Zion Spartan, but unfortunately the dash away will keep him safe.
And now we're seeing the lane completely changing. Like now that for Kassadin versus Kennen mid, and now that Kassadin doesn't have to worry about that mana, he can just constantly spam on Kennen, and that's kind of how Kassadin beats every single caster in the game. Once he gets mana, he doesn't really take that damage that effectively, and then having that silence very easily for that spam. Pixel coming up trying to get some harass, but Legion playing very defensively in this bot lane, doing a really nice job there. They have Soraka as well to give them that sustain, and now they're pushing up. So Zig going to be throwing Demon Law into the tower, trying to deny some experience that way.
So Pixel also looking for his opportunity, trying to see if he can't get one more grab, preferably on Soraka. But, well, I think the damage is going to be a little bit too much. I'm not sure if Zig can actually go ahead and bring someone from full to 0 as quickly as they'd like to. Pixel is looking. There you go. There's the pop-up uppercut. But here comes Loudmores trying to get the fear down onto Zig, and Pixel is way too low. The mana barrier is up. Demon Wall, can you get that? Yes, you can.
Yeah, really nice bait, expecting them to try and be aggressive still, trying to harass down Ezreal. So Nocturne comes in very easily. They're able to pick that up. Shen, his ultimate is not quite up yet, but even so, Cruiser probably would have just crushed him if he tried to ultimate, jump on him with the stun. And so now Legion is able to pick up this dragon. So they'll get a nice little gold advantage here and continue this snowball game that they're looking for. Oh, well, Connect with the burst on Paradoxical. The ultimate from Kennen, though, but he is going to go down.
There you go. Will be enough. The Ignite going down, but Caston will just walk away from that one. Caught top lane. Zion Spartan trying to get some extra damage on Cruiser while he can, but the laugh from Jax, so cocky, that man. But the dragon does go down. Legion will have that in the bank. He got a nice 3K gold lead for himself so far.
It's not arrogance when you know you're that good.
Well, it's still rude. It's still very rude. You don't want to be doing
Say
that.
please and thank you and clean your plate.
And wear your cardigan sweater.
I wish I had one right now.
Actually,
It's cold.
I still want a Cosby sweater, just to have, just to say I have it. That'll be like the Christmas sweater. Anyway.
Yeah, now that Loudmores is low, I'm a little bit surprised Nintendo could maybe try and steal it. Yes, he is going to go for these wraiths, stealing it with that smite there. So Loudmores a little bit behind, but or not behind, but he's low right now. He's been doing a pretty nice job with ganking and such so far.
Yep.
And actually going with the Heart of Gold build, so not going for the fast dragon clearing or jungle clearing, because he knows it's a fast jungler versus a fast jungler. I'm not really going to be doing much invasion, so I don't need to get a Wriggles. Whereas if you're going against a ganking jungler like a Nautilus or something like that, you go for the Wriggles so you can just steal their jungler really quickly.
Mm-hmm. And then Caston, like you're saying, he is going for a GP10 build. Does buy the lucky pick. We'll be looking for a DFG maybe later on. But the tier, though, is indispensable on Caston. He just uses so much mana later on in the game. You really need that to make sure you can actually go ahead and get your damage and get away with the Riftwalk, because the more you use it, the more expensive it costs. Jax, top lane, Cruiser also getting the Cutlass, looking for the Gunblade build on him. So, that's lifesteal.
But Nocturne is in this top lane, so if Cruiser can bait it in, the ward picking him up, so Zion Spartan knows to get out of there.
Yep.
In the meantime, Pixel trying to get engaged. There's the ultimate from Demon Law, and Nubish is right in the middle of the team, but he can back out of there with the flash. And so Demon Law can chase down into Zig, but there's the Shen ultimate, so they can turn it around. Shen with the taunt, trying to pick up the kill, the flash onto Nubish.
Nice. And with I smiled too because I forgot that Blitzcrank does that honk noise. I love that thing. That is just so amusing to me. Just to have that, to hear that when you die, that will be haunting in your nightmares. Such a joyous horn.
Yeah, so a nice turnaround from Dynamic. Falling behind in this game, but they're able to pull it back some. Cruiser is going to be an issue, though, so they will have to watch out for how tanky he can get. We'll see what he's going to kind of build. And a lot of times, if you expect a lot of lane harass, like you're going to get with Shen, then maybe you go with a little bit more regen. You finish the Gunblade, so you can enter battles at high health and be a little bit better as a split pusher and just crush that lane.
Yep.
But he'll probably go into more of a tanky kind of build. He needs to watch out for all of the AoE that they have, and so he's going to need some magic resist. Maybe go with like a Hex Drinker build or into a Triforce or something. So we'll see how that'll kind of work. But I don't know. It's going to be an issue once they start team fighting. So they have a nice little gold lead right now, but it's all single target stuff, and they need to be separated. They need to have small fights, 2v2s, 3v3s that they can get to their advantage. And once it's a full AoE fight, Kennen is just going to control everything. Misfortune is going to have all of her AoE. Blitzcrank is going to have so much CC. It's going to be tough.
But then, Blitzcrank on any team can also be the huge X factor when it comes to just, helping your team, get back the lead. Just one pull on pretty much anybody, with the exception of Cassidy, can really spell a lot. Actually, no, never mind. Even on Cassidy, the burst may actually be more than enough to actually take him out outright. Because then you also have follow-ups like the taunt and Shen coming in as well.
Yeah, so Nocturne coming down, stealing the blue, doing a nice job there. Cassidy will be able to get out of there, but Loudamortis is a little bit stuck right now, and actually Cassidy engaging on the cannon. Loudamortis throws off the ultimate, but can't get the engage, so Paradoxical is going to be okay. He's going to get out of there, but actually Cassidy with another Rift Walk, one more attack could maybe get it. Oh, the flash in the Q, he's able to get it.
Very well done, but the thing is, though, Cassidy's got a long way to go to get to safety. The Rift Walk will be able to get him there. I am not so sure, but Zig and Nintendo to actually find out Demon Wall. He does try to shift away. Can you get away from this one? Shen is not too far behind. The ward in the bush. Oh, wow. Very well. Very well done.
Yeah, so nice job getting out of there, getting the quick kill, and they stole the blue as well. And Dynamic, they want to force a fight, but there's a lot of mobility on Legion, so it's going to be pretty tough for them to engage. They don't really have a hard way of engaging. They need to just kind of run at them. So we'll see Zion Spartan. He could get a taunt here on Cruiser if they try and go on it, but Nintendo going down very quickly, has to throw on the ultimate, has to get out of there. Zion Spartan is pretty low as well. The Ezreal ult coming in as well, and now Cassidy is here as also, so they could maybe dive this on Zion Spartan.
As soon as the minion waves start taking turns, Cassidy can just go the long way around, go back, get the silence, get the slow, get everything you need. But it looks like the creep wave is going to be taking a little bit quicker than expected. Pixel, though, bot lane with Zig. A grab onto Ezreal could mean doom for him. But bot tier 1 for Legion looks like it's going to be going down shortly if they can't clear the wave fast enough. But Zig and Pixel will move on back. And Kenketh will actually just go ahead and take all of his spoils with him back, getting the needlessly large rod for all that damage.
Yeah, that's some damage. It took me a second, but yeah. We'll see. I was kind of wondering if you would go for the DFG, but needlessly large rod is definitely nice. It'll allow them to farm a little bit more easily and give them a little bit more burst. And they need burst damage. They don't really have a lot of burst right now. They have great sustain damage, but outside of Cassidy, they don't have any burst. So they really need Cassidy to just be able to one-shot someone.
So now Nintendo is just going to go ahead and defend the mid, try to get a little bit extra farm for himself, and there you go, pink ward's going down over by the dragon, and then Nubish can clear out some of that as well. So yeah, Jax started off with the Cutlass, then continues on with the Fade, so he's looking to just, we're gonna be seeing eventually the Gunblade and the Triforce, just maybe not necessarily all complete or in that order or anything. He just wants to get the critical items, what he needs now. So for now, with those two pieces, you have the slow on the active, you got the life steal, you also have a slow, you got a heat, you got some health, you got some little bit extra damage there. So it's a nice little package they started. It's the introductory pack.
And it gets him tanky because he doesn't want to just instantly die. So they're able to grab the dragon. That's going to be nice for them. The one nice thing about that needlessly large rod already is it allows him to harass down Kennen a little bit more easily, and it's just going to allow him to poke him down. Nintendo does see him. Oh,
nice ult from Nocturne, goes straight in. They want to focus down Pixel immediately. He is feared. There's the Shen ult, and Zig, very nice placement on the ult, pretty much getting everyone from Legion there in that little quick pump. But Shen will not be making an appearance. Blitzcrank went down a little bit too quick. But there is still a way for a pursuit to happen here. Nintendo trying to get the axe onto somebody. Nubish will flash over the wall, but Demon Wall will also be able to get out of there pretty quick. So 1 for 1 out of that exchange. And Zion Spartan, unfortunately, his shield just was not strong enough to protect the robot.
Yeah, so he does go down, but it's to Dynamic's benefit. So they're going to be able to get this tower. They're still pushing in. Nintendo trying to get something up here. The one issue is that Cruiser is continuing to farm up top. So that's going to be a serious threat for them later in the game. Zig just going to walk away, allow that to die, and then they can come and steal this blue. So nice timing from them, prevent that from going on to Cassidy, and that's going to be huge. Cassidy has a decent mana build, but not fantastic. I mean, it's a strong build, yeah. But a lot of times you'll see Cassidy's have to go both a tier and like a rod because you just need so much mana for spamming.
So right now, Zion Spartan meeting once again with Cruiser. The active on the Cutlass has been triggered. So Zion Spartan's going to have a little bit of a trickier time. He will make it out alive, but he will be very hurt in doing so. Ping's going down over by Legion's blue, despite the fact that he's stolen. Paradoxical getting caught out by Kick. There you go. The silence has ended. The ult trying to make something happen is feared under tower though, but here comes the rest of Dynamic. Will Loudmores get out of there alive? No, the tower gonna get the last hit. Credit going to Misfortune, and now Deja Vu, Cassid trying to get out of the situation. Pixel, pull, the hooks, not getting there.
Yeah, just not quite trying to, get the predictions going.
Yeah.
There was the silence. He probably could have waited until after the Rift Walk, but he didn't want to let him Rift Walk away. So he kind of wanted to get it in quickly. Zig has the red buff, chasing after Demon Law. He has plenty of movement speed, but Demon Law trying to get out of there should be okay. Can back off.
Yeah. So Demon Law actually also has a Phage for himself, and he is looking to also build into something else for the time being. So got the Phage and the BF sword. So, I mean, once again, eventually finishing the Trinity, but he just wants to get the pieces that he needs, wants to be a little bit more tanky, wants to have a little bit more damage. But there goes Zion Spartan, watching his blue get stolen by the Caston. What a jerk. But then again, Dynamic also took their blue, so it's going to be neutral.
Yeah, they're even. It's payback.
It's payback. Payback, the revenging.
We'll have to see what Dynamic tries to do to kind of force the game in their way, because they need to force fights. They can't allow Legion to just kind of roam around the map and have this map control. The issue is that they don't really have great situations for forcing fights. They could consider pushing down a lane. Yeah, that's probably what they'll end up doing, but I guess they're just okay with continuing to farm and get into that late game so they have enough damage to take down Cassidon.
So I'm also wondering, we haven't really had like a full
No, we haven't.
5-on-5. So I'm wondering, once we get the God initiation, Paradoxical in the middle, getting off the ult, Pixel being disrupted, just hooks everywhere, and Zig, my boy Zig. There's a lot of damage in MF there. 2-0-2 right now. A lot of decent farm as well. That ult in the right position. And you saw in that last fight too, like right over the wall. 3 members of Legion were caught up in, Cruiser, you may actually be caught up here. Nintendo going down with the true damage, waiting for the axes. I don't think Cruiser is actually going to be getting out of here because there's Pixel to help out as well. Just in case Cruiser gets a little bit shaked up. Pixel could be there with the hook, but no, Zion Spartan is going to be there with the damage, more than enough. Cruiser got caught out, but in response, Legion will go ahead and snipe out tier 1 in mid real quick like. And MF trying to deflect Ezreal as well from taking down the tier 1 in bot.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a nice job getting the kill on Cruiser, but the big issue is that he's pressuring top lane so much, and he needs to get some wards out there in order to split push that aggressively and push up to the second turret. But once he does, he should be able to, because he's just so much stronger than Shen at this point. He can just continue to put that pressure on. They may be able to get this tower here. Probably not, though, because they're going to have to deal with Cassidon if Misfortune was here.
Pixel could get the grab on someone, and once the rest of the team joins in. Shen may be top lane pushing, but he does have the ult, can join in at any time. And MF kind of just triggers just a back and forth with Ezreal down bot lane, and she also does have the level lead on him as well. I think she also have the farm lead. She's also got the farm lead.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing a really nice job down bot, and it's kind of it's a common Misfortune build. It's very similar to Kog'Maw, because Misfortune just has so much built-in damage. Same thing with Vayne. The 3 of them, because they have so much built-in damage from auto attacks, you can start off with the Wriggles to get that lane control, and then transition straight into Azeel, sometimes finishing off the Phantom Dancer. And you plan on your damage being the magic damage from your auto attacks, and instead he's going to transition again into like a normal Infinity Edge or Bloodthirster or something. But it gives him a lot of lane control, and it allowed him to be very strong in that lane. Not
to mention, Olaf and MF both with Wriggles. That's going to be very speedy dragons, very speedy barons if they ever do decide to go straight on for it. But right now, Nintendo going to be pinged out. He does have an Oracles. He's clearing out the wards. Are they doing it? Are they doing it? There's clearing. There's clearing.
I mean, they want to force a fight. So, I mean, that's the big thing. They want to force the full 5-on-5 fight and allow both Cassidon and Jax to just walk right into their AoE. And, I mean, that's what they need to do. Ezreal is bottom, so if they can maybe do it, they could just kind of start doing it. And Misfortune, she is attacking it. So
wow.
They don't have any vision, and they're actually going for Dragon in the meantime. So Loud Immortus walking down for Dragon.
There you go.
That's a Baron.
Dragon for Baron. That's a pretty bad trade for Legion right now. But Cruiser's going to be looking on up. Sees Pixel. But right now, Zig is actually still looking to try and take out Dragon. There's the Shen ult to protect MF. And now Blitzcrank is going to be out in front, trying to distract as much as possible. Will Dynamic be able to pick up this Dragon? Baron. Yes, they do. They've got the buff. And here comes Kennen with the ult. Cruiser going down very quickly. Dynamic, they have their
Paradoxical.
Baron.
The ultimate is down, but there's the engage back on the Blitzcrank. He's very close to going down, but Zig with the ultimate over the wall, and so Blitzcrank is okay. Kassadin with the hook from Blitzcrank, but he gets the long-range Riftwalk out of there. So Dynamic, they're able to grab that. Oh, but in the meantime, Zion Spartan is still chasing them down. He gets the three-man taunt and the quick AoE. Ezreal goes down. Kassadin, can they pick him up as well? He gets the Riftwalk out of there. But now Lauda Mortis is stuck, and Olaf actually was able to get in range for that grab to go back and look at it.
We were watching the whole. We were watching
all right,
whole
thing.
We were
Whole
watching
thing works.
the whole damn thing again because that was amazing.
Dynamic with the quick Baron, Baron kill, able to pull it out. There's the ultimate from Paradoxical.
Wonderful positioning from Kennen in that fight. Just like, oh, you're trying to get away, eat my ultimate. And Lauda Mortis being a little bit out of position there. And I know Pixel looks really delicious right now, but you can't. The longest arm coming in from Blitzcrank. This the nice
that's
right.
And then Shen right up here dueling with Demon Law. He can't get out of there. Inubish going down as well.
Wonderful
the three-man taunt.
Wonderful taunt right there. And now this is what we gotta see. Nintendo's going in. Is it just an
oh wow. Edge of the axe
from the 3-point line. That axe, wonderful job from Nintendo. My God.
And so that was the threat for Legion the entire time. They were starting to snowball. They were doing a really nice job with this game, but the team fighting potential for Dynamic was just so high. And if they could just force a fight, if they could force one fight, they'd be able to win it. Instead, they just took a Baron, and Legion had no idea. With, like you said, with the misfortune damage, with the Wriggles, they're able to kill it so quickly. Olaf as well. Olaf is one of the strongest champions in the game at taking Baron, and there it is, a complete transition. All of a sudden, they have the Baron and they have the inhibitor, and
Crazy.
Legion is really devastated right now.
That is absolutely insane. And you know what, this Dynamic, they like to make these huge plays, and they love going for
Pixel
Baron.
with the reset on the blue. That's okay.
What a jerk.
It is going to slow them down a little bit, though. Oh, he's able to get it, though.
But you know, Dynamic loves making these plays. They love to go for their quick Barons or earlier Barons, and because it's a huge boon to what their team wants to try and establish, what they want to accomplish, and the team fight. Whoa, the team fight coming from Dynamic was just amazing there. Just everyone was on point. Everyone had their right positions. Pixel was able to escape pretty effectively, and just Nintendo being a boss, tossing them axes. Wonderful, wonderful fight.
Yeah, now Kassadin grabbing the blue. I mean, they are pretty farmed, so they can potentially pull it back. Just kind of disorganized fight, and it's the issue is they can't pick people off, but Kassadin coming in, trying to grab the Shen. He's split from the rest of the team. Cruiser is here as well as Nocturne. They can take him down pretty quickly, and they get out of there. So there's a minor victory for them, but they have to retreat quickly because Blitzcrank is in hot pursuit with his Hot Wheels. Knicht is there. He's going to be able to get the silence and the Riftwalk. Will we get the grab? He's just barely in range. There it is.
That one, wow. Paradoxical didn't even need the ult, but he did it anyway.
You want to kill Kassadin quickly, so they did it.
Absolutely, yes, you do. Demon will tank that tower for the minions. There you go. But yeah, tier 1 and bot will go down, but I'm not sure if any other objectives will be grabbed by Legion while Dynamic has this Baron buff. Granted, they did get the kill on the Shen, but still, though, look at this huge pressure coming in on mid from Dynamic. Jax is going to have to go ahead and mad dash back to the base, just so he can defend the push. And right now, there are pings actually going down by Legion's blue. But yeah, it's now also got to the point in Dynamic. They have to go ahead. They have to pick where they want to press. They already have an inhibitor down. Top or bot would actually be good to. They're actually just going to go straight on in. They want to go in for the Nexus. They're hungry.
Oh, the hook onto Nocturne. Pixel with the grabs all day.
Where's the Shen ult? Waiting for the Shen ult. Who's it going to go down on? There we go.
Oh, wow, the AoE almost taking down Kassadin, and Paradoxical is here as well. They're trying to force this, but very quickly they're able to clean up these fights. The hook, Cruiser with the dodge, but there's the taunt just barely missing as well. And now they could take down this Nexus. They are just going to go straight for the turrets. Demon Law trying to stop them there. A little bit of damage. Kassadin being burst down almost immediately.
There you go. Kennen does go down pretty damn quick. Kennen actually got that kill. They got one Nexus turret. They did not get the second. But, you know, it's still, though, that's a pretty huge mission accomplished from Dynamic. But, you know, Paradoxical, he was a little bit too far behind. And that is still the power of casting, the fact that he can still go in, blink out, get those kills when he needs to. But Baron buff is now gone.
Oh, Pixel!
Oh, wow. That's rough. That is
Oh,
rough.
wow. And actually, Nintendo just grabbed Soraka in the meantime, and now he's chasing down Kassadin and Ezreal. They're way out of position,
There's
and
taunt.
Zion Spartan with the taunt.
Oh, just can't get this. Try and get away from that. Zion Spartan is really low. Ignite down here, but Demon Wall, no. Nintendo is indeed on a rampage here. 5-2-4 right now.
It is a 3v3, though, and Zion Spartan is very low. If they decided to engage this, they could try and burst him down real quick and then turn on the rest of them.
Spartan is very low. I'm not sure if he should be continuing to go in on this because, you know, Cassin, he has backed, and there's one quick burst can take him out very much in the same manner that Pixel died. Zion Spartan, don't just get out of there. Just go. Just leave. You don't want to be part of this. There you go, Cassie coming in. Not going to go ahead. Not going to get the Q. Not going to get anything but Loudmore. Maybe a nice flash taunt, but no, is not quite in range. But I think Dynamic here, they're keeping the pressure up. What they're doing is they're killing time for Baron to respawn and trying to get whatever they can. And it should actually be coming up in about another minute and a half or so. So they should be looking to mobilize and get back into position to take another Baron soon. Because this inhibitor being down is actually going to be meaning the world to Dynamic. They've pushed so far into the base. There's only so much that Legion can push back, and hopefully they'll be able to take Baron number 2 with the same amount of efficiency that they did first time.
Yeah, and the big thing is that they recognize as long as they keep pushing mid, it puts pressure on the other lanes, and it prevents Legion from being able to farm. So, like you said, it stalls out for the Baron, but it doesn't allow Legion a chance to get back into this game. So, we'll see. I mean, as the game goes later and later, Legion will have some opportunities. If they can, maybe win a fight, then they could pull back into this with their quick snowballing potential. Jax and one other guy could take Baron pretty easily. If they find that kind of opportunity.
It doesn't even matter who. Jax Soraka even. Soraka with the heals would just be more than enough to allow Jax just on his own to take that thing. But, everyone from TD has backed. They're now looking to regroup. Pixel looking to get some ward coverage, just to make sure everything's clear. Nintendo does still have the oracles. Wants to be an effective ward cleanser, just to make sure there's nothing in the. There is the one ward in the pit. Nintendo gonna take that out pretty quick. So now Legion knows. Legion knows Baron's coming back pretty soon. They know that Dynamic wants to take it real quick. Cassin's not too far behind. He just needs to grab the blue first. Oh, the hook! Cruiser. Wow, very well done by Pixel. And now there's not a whole lot Legion can actually do to prevent this. Demon Will can try and snipe away from a distance, try and get some health down, and there you go. The ult will not be able to finish that. Zion Spartan out in front, looking to also dissuade Legion a little bit, waiting for the taunts, something, anything, trying to tank as much damage, being a good ninja. And there is a Nocturne ult, trying to focus down someone, possibly trying to get Zig, but there you go. Baron Nashor has gone down to Team Dynamic, and there you go, Zig. Getting all the kills you need to. Demon Will has to flash away, but Paradoxal is going to be a little bit too much from the handle. Nintendo and Axe something for the slow. Paradoxal, will you go down? No, the nice Shen shield. There you go. And I think this may be it. Zig using the ult to clear the wave, but Kenga's looking for a snipe. Oh, nice snipe onto the Kennen.
And Zion Spartan trying to get the taunt, but can't quite grab it.
Yes, that's fine.
So,
you can go back. You can recall. We're just going to be all up in your base.
Yeah.
You'll know where we are.
But they do have both Jax and Kassadin up, so if they can get back in time, they could maybe put up a defense for this, but it is a 4v3 situation. They have to watch out. Pixel trying to corner Cruiser does have him kind of off on the side here, so he can just kind of zone him while they take this Nexus turret. It's going to drop very quickly. There
you go, and there's Cruiser's opportunity. Bell, who's looking for his jump, but does get popped up by Blitzcrank and will not be able to get out of this one.
The taunt and then the pull.
Taunt and the hook, devastating combo. Loudmore will not be getting out of this one either. He is exhausted. He's going to have to be forced to take the long, slow walk back to Fountain, but just inches away. The Nexus, it is naked. Dynamic, they're in really good form here. Just focus down the Nexus, take this kill. Just get the kill down onto Shen. Intended, focus down the Nexus, please. And there you go, Dynamic taking this in a 2-0 series. Great job. Moving on to winners round of 4. You're going to be facing the winner of TSM Evo and Curse. Legion, you're not out of it yet. Drop it down to losers, but you'll also be facing the loser of Evo and Curse happening on later tonight.
Yeah, really nice play from Dynamic. And Legion, they had a snowball kind of team. They wanted to be able to single target, just kind of burst people down, pick people off. And it worked out for them for a little bit, but they were never quite able to snowball enough. And there was always that impending doom of Dynamic just going to have that awesome team fight combo. And it worked out well for them. They were able to pick up those kills. just once they started grouping up, Dynamic crushed, and it was really quickly how fast that game transitioned from being dead even to being over. So
well, that's the thing. There was the one fight. Legion
yeah, it was the one fight in the Baron. So
and the Baron.
the sneaky Baron.
Legion goes for Dragon, and Dynamic goes for Baron. But that's the thing too. Once you start hitting that point in the game, if you're going to be making a move for an objective like Baron, for an objective like Dragon, you need to make sure that you have the opposite end of the map warded. You need to make sure you actually have coverage, because if Dragon's warded by the other team and they see an opportunity to go grab Baron real quick, if they have a team set up such as this, double wriggles, that could mean a very quick demise.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was pretty quick, and I don't know, really nice play from Dynamic. It will be exciting to see Legion continue.
Yep.
The previous game, it was definitely a nice game seeing them beat CLG Black. So Legion does go down to the losers bracket. We'll see if they can, make it through. Right now, Dynamic is still in, and they've been one of the top teams for months since IPL 4. They've just been astounding with their play. So we'll see if they can continue with it, and if they make that qualifying bid. One more win, and they will have a qualifier spot for face-off in San Francisco. If you want tickets, go ahead to ign.com/IPL. Check on the right side. There's a link for tickets there.
Team Dynamic, they grow up so fast. They grow up so fast. I love these guys. But you know what? We are not done. We're not done for tonight. Still got TSM Evo and Curse to play out later tonight. Optimus Tom and Studio will be casting that, but what we're going to do for now, while we're actually going to be getting the rest of these matches set up, we're just going to go to a quick commercial, and then once we're ready to switch to streams on over, we'll come back, we'll let you know, but hey, we'll be back in a little bit getting the next match set up, so do please stick around. TSM Evo and Curse coming up next.
While we wait a second, I'll give one more shout out. Facebook.com/Team Dynamic. I know.
Again with the plugs.
They keep bugging us.
Again with the plugs.
They keep bugging us for the plugs. There it is. Team Dynamic. Check them out. They're cool guys. So yeah, we'll be back shortly. Actually, we'll go off and
let's
see what's going on.
We'll get the next match established, but for now, commercials. Be right back.